Behold, in all of its glory, it's majestic, it's long, it's mighty. Behold, the most okay, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Here is the most amazingly, like, ridiculously freaking like, it's okay, I think it's cute, but at the same time, that tongue is just way too big, dude. Enter Lickitung level 50 for Great League. Now, extra large Lickitung. This GIF is ridiculous. Look at it. It's so majestic. It's so thick. Look at it wave the tongue up and down. It's having a really good time, guys. Anyways, enter Lickitung, like I said, for level 50. And now Lickitung is a beast because at level 50 in Great League, it can reach even greater heights, especially with its moveset. So Lickitung maxes out at 1500. Will max out, I believe, at 1500 at level 50 or close to it. It has high defense, high stamina, and at level 50 it's a monster, only being weak to fighting types, and it does double resist ghosts. Now the thing about Lickitung is what makes it really good. It has a really fantastic moveset. Lick, always lick down, always, never doubt it for a second. Always lick everything. Lick it down. If it's almost dead, don't you dare hit that body slam. You better lick it. Anyways, it has lick, body slam, and power whip. With power whip, it gives Lickitung great coverage against a lot of things like mud boys, rock types, and it just hits, power whip just hits really, really hard. So that's why Lickitung is so powerful. Of course, every level 50 mon is really expensive to build, but Lickitung actually pretty soon is going to get you're going to be able to raid for Lickitung. So I don't know about you, it also has a really sweet gold shiny, and Lickitung is actually one of the most powerful XL level 50 Pokemon in Great League. So it's definitely worth going after if you can get one. Alright, as you see here, this is the PvPoke.com rankings for Great League. As you see, Lickitung at level 50 is a monster. Very strong in the lead and the switch. Has key wins against Azumarill. It absolutely flying body slams the crap out of Skarmory. It actually hits... Wow, it actually just literally bodies flyers. And ironically, even though Alolan Marowak does resist both body slam and power whip, the licks are so mighty that you literally just lick it to death. I'm assuming Bone Club literally doesn't do jack against you, so that's why it's so powerful. Like, the licks just Lickitung go lick. Lickitung go lick you down. Now, you do have some key losses, unfortunately, because Lick is a ghost type move. You're gonna lose against Umbreon, of course. You also lose against other dark types, unfortunately, like Shiftry. Shiftry hurts a lot. However, being able to beat the Azu Skarmcore and Flyers and just Galvantula, this is a mighty thick boy. And those body slams are gonna chunk. You do lose against fighters, though. Now, the Toxicroak matchup, as you see there, that's not actually a super bad matchup at a 512 rating. Yes, you'll lose the matchup, but it's gonna be close. So you have a lot of play with this mon. So I wouldn't count it out just yet. Like, if you do get the fire matchup, it's gonna be really interesting to see the Matrix and just see just how, like, Lickitung maxes up against fighters. And you lose to Bastion, unfortunately, because it's gonna just, yeah, because Bastion's also thick, so you're gonna have to be careful of it. Anyways, like I said, number 5 overall, though, very powerful positioning and super random because it's literally the only, like, normal type in, like, the top 10. Like, literally. Only normal in the top 10. Anyways, in the lead, Lickitung XL ranks at number 11. So, Lickitung is actually extremely powerful at level 50 in the lead. As you see, like I mentioned before, it's pretty much the lead scenario is basically the same as the overall. As you see, you beat the same things you beat, and then you lose into G-Fisk, Bastiodon, etc. In the closing scenario, that's where I think Lickitung isn't the greatest in the closer. As a switch, it's very powerful. Level 35, rank 35 isn't bad though. That's a huge jump. As you see, 107 to 35 for level 50. That's pretty huge. And you wipe out a lot of things. You lose, it looks like you do lose against Scarm in the closer. However, you still beat Azu, Galvantula, Alola Marowak, and you beat Mud Boys because of that power whip damage. So it's still really dang good. So I wouldn't count it out just yet. Now, like I said, the switch and the lead are its strongest position, so Lickitung ranks at number 5 as a switch. That's pretty dang good. As you see here, you do lose against Obstagoon really hard just because of those licks being resisted. It looks like if lick is resisted, it's really bad. Shadow Champ ends your life as a switch. And Darken, yeah, you lose pretty hard. Well, you're gonna lose to Dark types because Lick is resisted. And it does look like G-Pancake does have some play against you. Also, Shadow Machamp, it looks like you want to avoid fighters in general. So, it looks like you have a strong matchup. Or, like, you have a close matchup with Toxicroak. But, it looks like... Well, Shadow Champ going Shadow Champ. That's really what it is. Shadow Champ going to take all 4 of its arms and punch you down, whether you like it or not. And, let's see. That's Lickitung in a nutshell. Lickitung is really good. Overall, very, very powerful. Yes, you do have some, it might have some problems. However, overall, I like it a lot. I like how it looks. Being able to break that Azu Scarm core is huge, especially a lot of flyers. Let's see how well it performs once we put up and input all its data in the matrix. Alright, here's my favorite part of any analysis, because we get to see what we kill and what kills us. And here I have Lickitung as the mighty... Here's a level 50 Lickitung. You can also get it at level 51. 51 is 7, 15, 15. So if you do have one, you can actually max that at 50.5. So you can actually level up to level 51. So I always like looking at level 50 and 51 because 51 can flip some matchups. For example, in the one shield, a level 51 G-Fizz can beat a Gallade. And it can beat a Gallade. So it's very worth looking at level 50, 51. And of course, we have our level 40 right here. I'm just going to do it at level 40. I'm not going to analyze level 41 because there's not a humongous difference between level 40 and 41. And we're here for the level 50 version anyways. As you see, I'm going to hit battle. And this is pretty nuts. Yes, you lose in the 2-shield against Obama. You also lose against Altaria. However, as you see, you're able to beat Azu with a level 50 or 51. You're also able to beat Chestnut. So, you lose against Bastiodon. It's not a super hard loss matchup. 416 isn't super bad, but you're gonna lose regardless, so try to keep that in mind. It looks like Charmers also have a very strong matchup against you, so also be careful of that. You're able to take down Cresselia though. Very strong matchup against Cresselia. You're also able to take down Deoxys defense. So it looks like against some pseudo fighters like DD, you're just super thick. So let's see what happens here. So let's look at the level 50. I could look at the level 51, but it doesn't look like there's a super huge difference. So you literally just WWE body slam, straight literally body the crap out of this poor little DD, and you live with quite a bit of HP left. 44. Lickitung, thick boy, very thick boy, or thick girl, but thick boy, but yeah, thick boy. Anyways, it looks like you drop Drifblim pretty hard because you're able to lick it down, and also you resist Shadow Ball, so it's just gonna Icy Wind you. You beat Ferrothorn. Wow, you beat a lot of things in it. No wonder it's number 5. You beat Frostus, you beat Galvantula, you beat Haunter, both versions of Hypno, even Lapras. You also beat Opposing... Oh! So the level 51... Well, level 51 will beat level 50 Lickitung XL just because you're going to win CMP, and yeah. Yeah. So level 51 does matter in certain scenarios. However, it does look like I said Shadow Champ. You do lose against Shadow Champ. Oddly enough, you lose against Mantine. I'm guessing it's because those Bubble Beams really do chunk. Because Lickitung doesn't have the highest attack in the world, losing an attack stat is kind of bad. You also lose against Mandibuzz just because Mandibuzz, like anything that basically resists your lick. A fighter like Medicham, and it looks like you do beat Alola Marowak, but you do lose against Meganium and Melmetal. And you do beat Mew. You do beat Lickitung. Ironically, even though both of you resist Lick, it looks like your Body Slam is thicker than Munchlax's Body Slams. And you do lose against Obstagoon. So it's kind of... Lickitung's a little like difficult to play just because you need to really know your matchups. For example, you need to know you lose against Meganium in the 2-shield. You also lose against Melmetal in the 2-shield. You lose against Registeel. You also lose against Scrafty and Shiftry. So dark types, Fighting types, I think with the exception of DD, you also lose against G-Fisk, and you lose against Toxicroak pretty hard. So, it does have a lot, there's a lot of things that, it's actually pretty strange, like how Lickitung works. You win against Tropius, you beat Venus, you're gonna beat Wishcash just because of Power Whip, but it has a lot of really random matchups that you beat. For example, you do beat Venusaur, you beat both versions of Tropius. You lose against Wiggles, you lose against Zweilous, and you also lose against Umbreon because it does resist it. Shadow Victory Bell also takes your soul despite... Yeah, it takes your soul with the Razor Leafs. I'm guessing Razor Leaf just does a huge amount of damage. Unless, yeah, does it? Let's see. Yeah, even though you're super thick and it's a Lickitung, unfortunately, level 50 Licky ain't got nothing on Shadow Vic, so you gotta be careful of that, and Bastiodon. So, Lickitung's a great lead. However, at the same time, you do lose against Grass Hole, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so we got the 2 shields. Here's the 1 shield. I'm gonna run the simulator. So in the 2 shield, it looks like Lickitung is good, but you kind of need to know your matchups, because you lose against some Charmers. I think the only pseudo fighter you do beat convincingly is Deoxys Defense, just because it's a Psychic type, so it's a really weird mon to use. I think the 1 shield is where things get a lot more positive, because as you see, you do beat Bama, you do beat Altaria in the 1 shield, so you do flip some matchups by bringing it down to the 1s. You also take out Clefable, you take out Cresselia, you take out Deoxys Defense still, you take out Dugong as well. So it looks like, I would argue, yeah, it looks like Lickitung's really great in, like, that's kind of specific though. Because, like, Lickitung, as you see here, it's very powerful in the 1 shield. Able to, like, in the 1 shield, you literally flip the Altaria matchup, you flip the Clefable matchup, you also flip the Dugong matchup. You beat Ferrothorn, you beat Frosty, you beat Galvantula, you beat Haunter, you beat Hypno, you beat Lapras. You're gonna lose, of course, against the Dark types and the Fighting types because they do resist Lake. You also still lose against Mantine and Melmetal, as well as Obstagoon, Registeel. However, you flip a lot of, like, relevant matchups in the 1 shield. So, it's not super bad. You also lose against Shiftry, Scrafty, Skarmory, Stunfisk, of course. You beat Swampert in the 1s. You also beat Shadow Victory Bell in the 1 shield as well. So you're able to... There's a lot of really relevant meta matchups you flip. And it looks like at level 51, you're also able to beat Zweilous in the 1 shield. So it really does matter if you have a level 50 or 51. So it looks like Lickitung has a better position in the 1 shield than it does in the 2 shield. Alright, so it looks like in the 0 shield, here's the zeros and we run it. In the 0 shield, it gets kind of dangerous. I guess that's why Lickitung's best used as a lead in a switch. As you see, you lose the Altaria matchup. You basically go back to where you were in the 2 shield. However, you do win against Clefable. So you beat Clefable. You still beat Dugong. So you beat Dugong. You still lose against what you normally lose against. You beat Mew. You lose against Munchlax convincingly. And you also lose... Let's see, you beat Stunfisk. And is there anything... You lose against Razorleaf, Tropius... You'll lose against Venusaur, and it looks like you beat Zweilous in the 0. It's very strange. So it looks like level 51, like I said, level 51 does matter. It flips the Zweilous matchup. You do lose against Wigglytuff. In the 0s, it's very odd. Because in the 0s, you beat things you're supposed to beat in the 1s, and you lose against, some things you would beat in the 1s, but you lose in the 2s. So it's a very awkward mon. Very powerful, however, a little difficult to use. In the 1-0s, Lickitung does go to town, beating most of everything but Bastiodon. Probably, though, Bastiodon, Melmetal, Obstagoon, Registeel, Scrafty. So you do beat a lot of the meta at level 50 and 51, minus about 6 matchups. So up in the 1-0s, it isn't bad. Of course, any mon in the 2-0s is going to be extremely powerful. Looks like in the 2-0s, you take out everything but Registeel and Scrafty. Yeah, Registeel and Scrafty, but you beat a majority of other meta Pokemon. And in the 2-1s, let's see, how does Lickitung fare in the 2-1s? And it looks like with shield advantage, you have wow, that's huge. Wow. This thing is good in the 2-1. So it looks like if you're in the 2-1s, you beat, it's very similar to the 1-0s. Actually, it's almost identical. You beat like 6 or 7 matchups. I think you actually beat the same thing, Scrafty, Registeel. You lose against Scrafty, Registeel, Obstagoon, Melmetal, and Bastiodon. So it looks like, and Vigoroth and Wigglytuff. So you do lose against some more matchups, but not super bad. Very strong in the 2, very strong with shield advantage. Very strong with shield advantage. Put it there. But yeah, it looks like Lickitung's best position is in the 1s. So I like it a lot. It's able to flip a lot of matchups, but you really need to know what you're doing if you're using a level 50 Licky. So it's not the easiest mon in the world to operate, but it looks like if you play it well and know your matchups, it can actually do a lot of damage in Great League meta. I can see why it's like top 5. I can see why it's top 5. It beats a lot of new things at level 51. As you see here, I mean at level 50 versus 51. As you see here, without level 50 or 51, you lose against you lose some matchups like Manabuzz, Lickitung, like Manabuzz, Shiftry, Umbreon, etc. So it's a very strange, it's a very, like, played well, it could be really good, and but you really need to know what you're doing when it comes to level 50 Lickitung, as in like matchups. So for Lickitung, if I had to give it a rating, I'd give Lickitung a 9 out of 10. It's the first mon I'm not giving a 10 out of 10 for specific reasons. Because, as far as Great League meta goes, there's a lot of Great League Pokemon that are like Dark types, and also Scrafty and Machamp are prevalent in the meta. Because of that, and the fact that Lickitung isn't as consistently oppressive as would say a level 50 Azu would be, I can't give it a perfect rating. 10 out of 10 has some flaws, but it must be able to beat a majority of the meta. What limits me from giving Lickitung anything better than a 9 or a 9.5 is it's difficult to play. So here's a Lickitung at level 51. Or let's do it at level 51. So Lickitung at level 51. Lickitung is probably the most available out of a lot of the level 50 Pokemon, because you probably have gathered Lickitung candy from before. Been playing for a while. As you see, very strong matchups in the 2 shields. Best in the 1 shield, as we've seen in the analysis. In the 1 shield, Lickitung goes to town. So Lickitung at level 50 in the 1 shield generates at 82% win ratio. So it's not a surprise of why it's really strong in the 1 shield. It beats a lot of matchups in the 1 shield. That's why I won't give it an 8. Because yes, it does get, like I said, it has those things you have to avoid. However, it has very powerful and strong matchups. And with the bulk and with Body Slam getting stabbed and its ability to cover Mud Boys with Power Whip, Lickitung still is a very powerful and impressive mon. It's just like I said, it's because of Dark and Fighter types, just because they're so prevalent in the meta. It's very difficult for me to give Lickitung a 10 out of 10. And Lickitung doesn't have consistent oppression compared to other things. And in the top 5, Lickitung is also able to beat relevant meta matchups like Deoxys Defense and Azu. So the only thing that really limits me from giving Lickitung a 10 out of 10 is really its difficulty of play. If you're going to use Lickitung, you kind of need to know what you're doing, just because there are specific matchups you beat at certain scenarios. Because it's very odd that, the 1 in the 0s versus the 2s, there are very weird matchups that flip. Well, not weird, but yeah, it's weird in a sense because Lickitung isn't very... Up until level 50 came out, Lickitung wasn't super oppressive in Great League. It can be a monster in Great League. However, like I said, you need to keep it away from those fighters. That's one of the cons. Keep it away from the fighters. Keep it away from... Know your matchups. You need to know your matchups. That's another thing. And just the third type is that just be careful, because the meta does have a lot of dark and fighting types running around. Lickitung does beat a pseudo-fire like Deoxys Defense. However, you do lose against things like Vigoroth. You also lose against Obstagoon. So it's very, very specific as to what you need to watch out for. Also, you do lose against Charmers in the 2s. However, in the 1 and 0s, you are able to flip matchups against things like Fable and Wigglytuff. So like I said, still extremely powerful. If you want to use it, I do recommend, if you have the Dust and if you really like it, Lickitung can be very powerful in the Great League meta at level 50. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll be doing way more level 50 analysis like here. Lickitung's probably the first one I haven't given a 10 out of 10, but it's only because of, like I stated, its specific weaknesses. And you need to know what you're doing when you play Lickitung, because it can be very good. That's if you know how to use it. I will see you guys on the next video. You guys have a great day. I hope your Go Ballies are going amazing. And again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.